Hello. I have quite a collection of these hawkbill pruners. The other day I attempted to make a video featuring only some of them, maybe about half of the collection. I just went on and it went nowhere. So I abandoned that project, but I will show some. And what I also decided was, wow, I've got so many of these, and I was oiling them and what have you. I thought I got to start rotating them, because ever since I got the Farm and Field hawkbill from Captain Electro, I've just been rocking that in the left pocket every day, pretty much without fail. So that's fine. I'll hold on to that one and I'll keep it and still use it, but I'm going to start using some of the other ones as well. So this one I probably found on eBay, maybe all about pocket knives or something, or maybe in a thrift store. I don't remember. But it seemed to have very little use on it. I've sharpened it now, as you can see. Somewhat messed with the lovely patina with these scratches. But what a patina. It's a little bit of kind of rusty gunk down there, but it didn't really seem to rust. And it's hard steel. It's a really good one. I did tap it a little bit with a carbide hammer as well to get it kind of straight. You can see it's maybe still got a little lean to the left there, but it was a lot further off, and they usually are. The GEC ones are among the best that I have for how they line up. And now you can see that it's right on the liner there. Now, before I straightened the blade, the centering was way better. But this is why I don't think that centering, I mean, it's a nice feature when it centers, when it lines up, and you don't want it to be wrapping into the liner, but we can just see here, actually, it's either got a tiny bit of clearance or it's touching so gently that it's not a problem. And here's the thing, I would rather that it line up now for use and be a little off when it's in the pocket. Presumably there is a way to have everything line up with a knife that's already made. I don't know how, that seems like a lot of work, and I don't know how to do that. But I used this today. I pruned some lilac, and I was out in the woods. Actually using this one today. I appear to have possibly bled on it. No, I think that's hemlock, actually. Yeah, that's hemlock sometimes leaves this red streak. But it stays red, doesn't go brown. You're right. So there are instances where this doesn't actually work quite so well as your little old hawkbill. Little thin stuff, tight angles. I was doing a root with this, which is probably not good, but doesn't seem to have suffered too badly, actually. A piece of paper. Yeah, it's suffered. That's the point there. Anyway, so that's my current hawkbill carry. One more thing about this that I really like. Well, let's keep looking at it. We're not exactly done, are we? I mean, we haven't eyed her up from all angles. This swell. Gorgeous. The case and the GEC don't put this swell. This beautiful pear-shaped swell. It really is swell. This appears to be some kind of Delrin. Feels very solid and very lovely. So, I love the sway back handle. And I can still remember a time where I would see a knife like this and it just looked totally wrong to me. It looked backwards and upside down, and the thing is, it's a very different tool, you know, within the bladed category from whatever, a Swiss Army knife or a kitchen knife, or the knives that I more conventionally saw as a child. And I didn't understand, this concept of doing pull cuts or chest pulls or any of that stuff. So it didn't really make sense to me. But even in the conventional, normal position, as it were, I think the sway back handle is just brilliant because it let you get these fingers to wrap around the back there. And it's just wonderful. It gets you in all the right places. And no hot spots. Except here, a little sharpness in there. The liners. Maybe tidy that up at some point. So, here are a couple of examples where I think that, to my taste, I kind of got the handle wrong, let's say. So this is also one that I picked up online. I saw, Hawkbill, Lockback, unusual. And it is really cool, in my opinion. Pretty sure this is a stainless blade. Stainless blade. Broken pocket clip. Yeah, I got this super cheap. I think it was $5 or something. And I never use it. And, I don't think I ever will use it. Because for the way that I use a Hawkbill, for example, in this pull cut, it's just a little odd for me, You could definitely work it. But I think that this is, it's more for this kind of hand position, saber grip and this kind of thing. Definitely be comfortable for leather cutting or what have you. And maybe this is more of an electrician's Hawkbill. And I'm going to say that it is, because I have a friend, Patrick Gerst. He's an electrician. He told me he was looking for one. And so I think I'm going to send this over to him. And it's cool because it's really thick behind the edge. So this could be really nicely reground, because the ideal grind for this knife, for this blade, in my opinion, is a convex, a full convex. So we'll get that in the mail, along with a load of other cool stuff that I have for him. For example, maybe I'll send this to him if he wants to take this project on. I'm making a friction folder out of this old straight razor, and I kind of got so far, and I don't understand where I left it, what was off-gassing on it or what, but it came up with this horrible rust. And I'm trying to get it perfectly flat, get a perfect flat here. So we're a little tight on space in order to build it into a friction folder, and then probably cut this off somewhere. But the idea was to keep that original badge, and be a really nice knife, but needs a little bit of TLC. And then this broken Chinese Swiss Army knife, I had an idea, because I saw Patrick doing cool kind of Swiss Army knife rebuilding using G10 liners and stuff. So I thought, why not make like a TSA friendly scissors? You could have your scissors and your nail file in one little unit, and then these tools, well, I would go this, right? 1, 2, 3, or maybe put a little blade here in the other one. Switch that out for a little ram's foot, and you could have two kind of matching units, one with the scissors, one with the tools. Be kind of funky. So think he's a cool guy. He's got talent, and that is maybe a project that he would be willing to undertake for me for a warranted remuneration. Now, similarly to this one, this Bastinelli Primal, I believe it's called. It's N690 steel, and it is cool. And I took it out and I used it, but you know, this handle, it's a really comfortable handle. You see, obviously, I already took it off, and that's the other half, and the screws down here. So it's a comfortable handle, but it's just it doesn't. It's also very slender. Yeah? It's for a concealed carry, kind of tactical hawkbill. Okay, I get it. You get it out like this, and you. But even like if you were going to be in Pical, for example, see that ruins it. That puts the. Here, we'll demonstrate with these two. Okay. Now, I'm not saying it's wrong. I'm just saying that it's horses for courses. Okay, so. If I hold this like this, that's fine. But if I go like this, see, now it's going to practically sticking me in the wrist. Whereas with the sway back handle, it kicks it back again. Back out. So this is, I think also, it's not a grip that I use that often. But I've started experimenting more and more, and I've started to find moments where, yeah, maybe I'll use a reverse grip even for pruning or something like that. So, this is gonna be modded. We want a sway back handle. Now, here's the problem. We'll do it like this. Okay. Yeah. But it's not a very big problem. In fact, I think it's a bonus. Because this is enough tang. If the handle is done up good and strong, that's enough. We just need to house this in really well. I mean, look, you know, that's a fail point right there. So before anything back here fails, that's going to fail there, or something's going to fail up here. So we don't really need this extra piece of tang here. You know, makes sense with this construction. But moreover, once I cut that off, I'll have the makings of a tiny little blade. Very tiny, right? Because that's going to be your tang. We're going to have to come up from there. But, you know, tiny little something-y, tiny little recurve, what's the word? Whatever that little blade is on your whittler, the kind of squared off end. Coping blade, right? Tiny little recurve coping blade. So, now my thinking, because I've started carving out a sway back handle for this. It's soaking in a bucket, and I forgot to go and get it. But, you know, you can imagine it's kind of going to be that, roughly that shape. So, I'm going to want a bolster here. And instead of going to all the trouble of making one, I was thinking, well, why don't I just cut this part off here, you know? Cut that off, you know, maybe say cut it down here. And then I can take it down and wrap it and build it into a different handle that comes out into a sway back. And then, brilliant, I'll also be left with a piece like this. And look, this curve is constant. So I can put that in there, which will be cut here. And I'll have, you know, a little handle, a little blade in it. Coming out to about there, right? If I cut this just right. And then I can build this out to the back as well, or keep it short, or whatever I want. So that's some of that. And I just want to say that this thing is not quite finished yet. because it really needs a little more finishing work on the handle. But I have been taking it down, and so that's quite cool. This grain is coming out more and more because of that thing there. And it's gotten really comfortable. It's really, really comfortable, and it's kind of unput-downable. I was using it last night to whittle on this spatula some more after I made a little video with it. And I got a lot of very fine knives here to whittle with, right? But I just couldn't put it down. All right. Thanks for watching.